Don't you just love the bop of that song right there?
Bopping.
As my daughter would say, that is a bop, Dad. Okay, whatever. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Denny Radio. I almost said sports and more. That's my radio show. Sorry. Denny Radio, Health by Claudia. Okay, let's start this again. Welcome to Good Health by Claudia. Okay? A podcast with me, Denny Schaefer. Of course, this is the world famous Claudia.
I don't know.
It's a production of Denny Radio. You're famous, girl.
Oh, no.
Everybody knows you. And we're at episode 117. 117.
Yay!
I don't even know if I hit the applause or not. I
It's
just hit a
okay.
button. It's been a while. Is that the applause? I don't even know. Anyway, it's good to be with you once again.
Good to see you, Denny.
I want to tell people something about this woman. Okay.
Oh,
I got
boy.
some kind of tooth thing going right here. And it almost feels like it's chipped or something, like I'm losing enamel or something on the back. And, you know, you go to the dentist, and I got crappy insurance like most of us when it comes to dental insurance. It's going to cost you $200-300 for them to, you know, do whatever they're going to do. They're going to put some kind of toxic glue on there or
Something.
whatever, you know, and I'm going to grow a third eye in the middle of my forehead. And I said, you got anything? And I showed her. I'm like, hey, take a look at this, you know, because she's a doctor.
Oh, I'm not a doctor.
Well,
but
what are
I've
you?
had a lot of experience of helping guide people for years. Let's say that.
Okay. Aren't you a holistic doctor?
Well, I'm trained as a naturopath.
Okay, so
But
that's
I
the
never-
doctor. You're
I-
not
no.
an MD. I didn't say you're an
No, no,
MD.
no.
Are we having our first fight?
No, we're having a conversation because this is
Kidding.
an important conversation.
It is.
So I went through naturopathic school, actually one of the oldest in the United States, but it's not recognized under Ohio law, which I knew. But the one that is out in its Bastyr, which is a wonderful school, but it's clear across the country.
Okay.
So the moral of the story is I tell everybody I'm trained as a naturopath, but I'm not licensed. I never applied for licensure because Ohio didn't recognize the school I went to.
And you know
So
why?
that's why when people say, oh, you're a naturopathic doctor. No, I'm trained as a naturopath.
Okay, she's a naturopath. And I said, do you have anything for my jacked up 67-year-old tooth? And she said, yes, I do. Come by the store. So I'm going to be going by
Well,
the store.
yeah,
And I'm picking it up to help whatever it is that's dealing with me.
It's always Nature's Pharmacy has the answers. This
Okay.
is why we do what we do, right? We're teaching everybody.
You're teaching me.
These
I'm
are
here.
the tools.
Class is in session, and here's your pupil right here. All right. Like we said, it's episode 117. Very, very important that you people out there keep sharing the podcast, share the shorts that Lauren puts together.
Yep.
Let's keep this information train rolling to help as many people as we possibly can.
That's the goal.
Okay.
That's the prayer, man.
And like all, leave your questions in the comments for Claudia. Mine are, questions for me is, why is he there?
Well,
Any question for Claudia, put in the comments, and somebody will respond back at some point.
yes.
So today we are going to talk about the history of aspartame,
Yes.
which I cut aspartame out. I don't know how many years we've been doing this. 4 years.
Yep.
About 4 years ago,
Yep.
because I
Which
think
I'm proud of you.
I think we did an episode on aspartame.
Yep.
Sweeten everything with stevia, and no more aspartame for me. I don't drink Diet Pop anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore because
Which is part of
it's probably why my teeth jacked up. All that.
which is part of why you lost weight successfully and in a healthy way.
Right.
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 You're getting rid of the toxins. You're eating according to your blood type.
Right.
So
But
it all comes together.
unfortunately, people have bought into the lie that aspartame, it's fine. It's just like sugar. You're good. And it's a lie. I mean, it's just a lie.
Well-
So today, it's the history of aspartame. First
Yes.
off, what a stupid name. Where does that name come from? Aspartame.
I don't know. I don't know. But the reason I thought it would be important to do this episode before I left for Italy,
Right.
there was a gentleman and long story short, he and his wife been drinking Diet Pop. And over the years, they were both getting headaches, dizziness, which is exactly what it's been shown to do. Plus, it's been shown through research to cause serious problems to the brain. And then he was getting a little nerve tremor, all this stuff. So as I do with everybody, we went through what are you drinking? And we talked about, I would suggest you get rid of the Diet Pop. That was several months ago. Now he's And I'm sorry, I screwed up the timeline. So now he's in before I go to Italy, and he's angry because he's doing his own homework, and he's finding out how dangerous aspartame really is. And he's mad. And he says to me, why would the FDA allow this in the marketplace? I said, well, I think that's a very important question. I think more Americans are starting to ask these questions about different things. And it's important to know the history. When you understand the history of everything that's come down in the United States, when it's health versus disease, then you can clearly see how all these things have happened. So sadly, as we all know, much of it all goes back to money.
Everything.
It all goes back to money and greed. So that's why I wanted to show the history. It's a long history, but I shortened it. So there's 2 slides about the history.
All right. So in the history, do we get where they came up with the name aspartame?
No.
That's why I'm here using my chat GPT. There it is, right there.
That's what
it
it's
is made from 2 amino acids, aspartic acid and phenylalanine.
Aspartic acid
and phenylalanine. Okay, chemists. Okay, not people that give a rip about anybody's health. These are chemists, scientists, probably mad scientists, and they combined parts of the names and created aspartame for aspartic acid and
aspartic acid.
So that's where you get the asp.
That's where you get it.
Asp.
Yeah.
Pertame. I don't know where they get that. Phenylalanine, whatever.
Phenylalanine.
They were discovered in 1965 by James Schlatter, who, in my opinion, is a poisoner.
What? Don't
allegedly
leave him alone. He was just doing his job. Here, get to the slide.
But it's destroyed people.
It has.
It's caused cancer, in my opinion.
But remember, this is where it goes back to drug companies need to take accountability. They're not being held accountable.
It's 200 times sweeter.
And the FDA is not being held accountable
because they're bought and paid for. They are owned, and we are the ones that are losing.
Everyone's been the guinea pigs for
200 times sweeter than table sugar.
Sweeter. Yes.
Okay, that sounds too good to be true, and it is, because you got to have side effects. Did we talk about side effects?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, awesome! All right, I'm excited. I'm going to stick around. I just want to
say, with this chat thing, I Google a lot of stuff to see what it's on the internet.
Right.
And there are things about different herbs and what have you that chat thing is not always accurate.
It's not.
I just want to point that out.
Chat GPT.
It's not always accurate. I'm a fan of books.
Books, because they never lie.
Books. You can tell who the author is.
Right.
You can do the research for yourself. You've got the references in the back of these books. I'm a book person. I will always encourage people, go for the books. So
what about books on like a Kindle on a computer?
I mean, I don't.
You draw the line there.
I will always have a hard copy book in my hand, and I have hundreds of books.
Buddy is old school.
I am, but that's
Well, that's how you roll, man.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Slide number 1: history of aspartame. Go.
Remember, I shortened this history, so it started in 1965 with GD Searle, which was a pharmaceutical company. They were doing research on an anti-ulcer drug. Okay. The chemist, Schlatter, I should have put his name in there. He happened to buy whatever. He licked his fingers. It was sweet. This is how it ended up by 67. Searle did safety studies to use. They wanted to do it as a food additive because when they discovered it was sweet, now they wanted to put it in the food. I don't know why that looks like that, but at any rate. So there was a doctor that reported that when he worked for Searle, that he reported when they were doing food safety studies that of 7 monkeys that they originally tested them on, they were giving them aspartame in milk. 1 died, 5 had grand mal seizures. 5. Then we get to 7.
And they kept going.
Oh,
that makes total sense.
So then there was another neuroscientist, Dr. John Olney. He reported his findings because he was studying aspartic acid, which is part of aspartame. So he reported that aspartic acid caused lesions in the brains of baby mice.
And yet they kept going.
Right. So then in 74, Dr. Jim Turner, who I've been very blessed to meet, he along with Dr. Olney they filed a petition to stop approval, claiming that the research was not done adequately. Okay.
Of course.
Then by 76, the complaint led to an investigation of Cyril's poor quality research practices. By 77, the FDA requested the U.S. Attorney's Office to officially investigate GD Cyril for misrepresenting findings. I don't know why that broke like that.
It's
but
okay.
Any rate,
no one cares.
They misrepresented the findings on the safety studies.
How do you misrepresent dying monkeys and lesions on mice's
because they just didn't put it in the findings. And remember, here's a big problem that we've been up against for years, not only with this issue, but GMOs, all this stuff. You've got the companies that are ultimately going to make money from selling a product, doing the research and telling the FDA it's all good. Well, that's why a lot of people are, they're saying all these things have to be done through third-party testing. Because when you have a company that has a vested interest in making money from the end result, it's like the fox. What's that old saying? The fox guarding the chicken
henhouse,
coop, whatever
chicken
it
coop,
is.
whatever.
It's the same thing, and this is what we're up against. It's very bad. Whether it's all the organizations that have to do with our health, they're all making some way, shape, or form. They're making money. And no one's being held accountable for what's actually come down. So let's look at the next slide.
Can I ask you a question first?
Yes.
Is aspartame outlawed anywhere in the world?
No, actually, there's other countries allow it. This is what I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just thought maybe there's some countries that don't allow it. All right, here we go.
All
Continuing
right.
with
Now,
history of aspartame.
Right. So 1977, GD Cyril hires Donald Rumsfeld.
No,
Remember
not
name?
that Donald Rumsfeld.
That
one?
Donald Rumsfeld as CEO to improve the company, and he brings his Washington buddies with him.
Of course he
did. Then in 79, FDA created the Public Board of Inquiry. Now they set this up to assess the safety of aspartame. 1980, the Public Board of Inquiry concludes that aspartame, at that time known as NutraSweet, should not be approved until further investigation of brain tumors in animals.
Okay, that's good.
Exactly. By 81, now comes President Reagan, and his transition team included
Donald Rumsfeld, and he's got an interest financially.
There you go. And he brought in his buddy, Dr. Arthur Hayes Jr., as the new FDA commissioner.
Oh, wow. How convenient.
He overrules the decision of the Public Board of Inquiry and approves aspartame for dry foods.
And they started killing people in 1981.
By 82, Cyril petitions FDA for approval of aspartame in carbonated drinks. By the summer of 83, now this is what's interesting. The National Soft Drink Association urges the FDA to delay the approval because what they found is when aspartame is heated to 86 degrees or higher, it becomes unstable and it breaks the bonds. And when those bonds, the bonds of that of aspartame break, they turn into methanol, which converts into formaldehyde, which is a known carcinogen.
Wow. Isn't that great? And our government knows that right now.
So that was the summer. By September of 1983, Dr. Hayes Jr. resigns as FDA commissioner and Cyril's public relation firm hires him. And then the first soft drinks came out in the fall of 1983. So this is where lies the lack of integrity. Now, there's other words you can use, but I'm going to,
It's a family show.
It's sad.
It is sad.
But this is what's come down with a lot of things in the marketplace that are not in for the benefit of human health,
right?
But they're for the benefit of somebody's pocketbook. So you think about a lot of these issues. They're literally using public as guinea pigs and making money from it. And then they make money from the drug side of it, because now a lot of serious issues have been linked to aspartame.
Yeah.
Now, if you Google adverse side effects, according to the FDA, they don't list any. But years ago, there was actually a list that they had. And I had a copy of it. It's who knows where it is. It's long gone. It's very hard to find the truth
Does the internet have it?
I don't think so. But the point is, so here's the moral of the story. And here's why I wanted to do the history of this particular subject. And when people come in and they're angry, they don't understand why are things approved by FDA that are ultimately harming people. Well, it's the reality of what we're up against. We're up against some very serious issues. And when it comes to your health, we see this all the time, right? You've got to be willing to reclaim your own health. And the way to do it is by, I always go back to what my mother taught my brothers and I. She always said, stick to the food that God put here. And that means food before factories. You can't get any easier than that to figure out what is safe to eat and what is not. Because there's always going to be people that are producing something poor quality that's going to harm people, but they're making money from it. So, and I can tell you this, I'm grateful. We make money from helping people. We make money from witnessing people heal and reclaim their health. And I'm proud of that. And I'm grateful. You couldn't pay me to make billions of dollars off the backs of harming other people. So anyway, that's the history. So what's the next slide?
All right. Next slide is slide number 3.
Yep. So it is found in hundreds of products, including beverages, snacks, desserts, supplements, children's supplements. That is awful. It's awful.
It's bad.
Because they found that it was already disrupting the brain of baby mice. So there's a lot of research showing what it's doing when, in fact, okay. So I showed Sweet Poison. Where's that going?
Hold on.
This is a great book.
Get rid of that.
That's a wonderful book.
Here, I'm great.
That was written in 1999.
Sweet Poison
by Janet Starr
Hall.
And then this one. This is a great book written in 1997. Excitotoxins, The Taste That Kills. This is by Dr. Russell Blaylock. It's a great book.
MD.
He's got a lot of information in there. And I don't know how old he is now, but if we could get a hold of him and get him on the podcast.
Lauren, you got a job to do.
I'd love to have him. I don't even know if he's, but at any rate, all these things, the truth is out there. It's just, you're not going to see it through quote unquote the system. So always do your own homework. And
gum, people.
Gum, yogurt, cereal, gelatin products. It's in hundreds of products.
All right. So all these products you sell at your store.
Well, we sell the products without aspartame in them.
I was going to get to that.
Right.
These products that don't have aspartame. So my point is this. Every one of these things, products are available.
Well, other than medications.
Okay. No medication.
Yeah.
Even though, you sell oregano.
And think about the years that we went through the low sugar. Well, first we went through low fat and everybody was eating more sugar.
Right.
Now they're trying, there's still doctors promoting people to, if they're going to get away from sugar, eat aspartame. It's like, come on. You have a responsibility to have integrity and be honest.
The last thing that I had
that's the scoop
with aspartame was gum. And I said, I chew extra gum. And you said you use the box for it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I went, yeah. He goes, go grab it. So I grabbed it and I showed it to you and he went, aspartame. I'm like, okay, that was the end of me chewing extra gum.
And I respect that.
And they have gum that is sweetened with stevia. So
xylitol and all these different, all these different things.
All right. Do we have any more of these?
There's just one more.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Now this is the most recent we could find, a response from the FDA. So the International Agency for Research on Cancer.
They must know what they're doing.
Right. And I believe, they are. They're through the WHO, Expert Committee on Food Additives. They concluded about aspartame that it was a possible carcinogen to humans. Okay. In July 14, 2023, the FDA responds that aspartame being labeled by IARC as, quote, possible carcinogenic to humans, close quotes, does not mean that aspartame is linked to cancer.
How do they
that
sleep?
Was their response. Exactly. That was their response. It's shameful. So the moral of the story is, everyone, protect yourself, protect your loved ones, Just because FDA approves something does not mean it's safe. And there's a whole list of things over time we're going to talk about that they've said are safe that we know, in fact, they are not.
I like that.
But they ignore the quality research.
Can I be part of that episode?
Of course.
I like doing these.
Of course.
Do you know anything right now that they have said is safe and it's not? Well, diet pop is not safe for you, and they say you're fine with that.
No, they're telling people that
diet soda is horrible.
Not to get off but they do this a lot. So you look at the mercury in amalgam that they put mercury in they fill cavities.
Right. What
happens if a school drops something with mercury in it? You know what they do?
What?
They call out the EPA and they come
in
clothed and they clear everybody out. And, it can be one little thing of mercury, like from a thermometer.
Yeah.
They clear out the school. They call in the whatever.
Hazmat.
That's it. Okay, so think about now you've got millions of people with amalgam, which in part is mercury, in their mouth for years.
I got some.
Okay.
Right now.
This is why so many people are saying, hey, I got to get this stuff out of my mouth. So the American Dental Association, everybody says it's safe, but you got a lot of people having serious problems because of, and you know what?
They're not still putting that in fillings, are they?
Yes. And
they are?
Yes, of course. They're still using amalgam. A lot of people are going to the composites. They're safer. But if ever you decide to do that, I'm going to segue from it. If ever you decide to get your fillings out, which a lot of people are doing, we're asked about it weekly. Not every dentist is removing the fillings properly. So you have to make sure you find a dentist, and we have one that we refer to in Toledo that's doing it properly.
Huh.
So at any rate, everyone's asking, why is the public so sick? Why is so many people getting cancer? You don't have, when you understand the history of all these subjects, I think it becomes very clear how all these things have gotten approved.
Yeah.
So moral of the story is, if you're using, and there's other artificial sweeteners, there's a Aspartame K, there's all this other stuff. And again, if it's not been on the planet since you've been, since
the dawn of time,
eat what's natural.
Saccharin. I grew up with saccharin when I was a kid.
That's another one.
My grandma, I remember she used to put saccharin drops in her black coffee.
Well,
to sweeten it up.
There's a history to saccharin.
That's bad too, right?
It is. And for years, a lot of people remember there was a warning on that.
Yeah.
This product contains or causes cancer in laboratory animals. Okay, well, then they took it off years later. Well, if it's causing cancer in a laboratory animal, does anyone really believe it's not going to cause cancer in people eating it? I mean, it doesn't even make sense to me. And that's why, a lot of people say, oh, the credentials are important and follow the science and all that stuff. No, things need to make sense. And more, a lot of things that Western medicine is saying is not making sense to people. And we're hearing about it all the time. And again, where do all those weirdos go that don't believe that, what Western medicine is doing? End up in health food stores, and I tell them all, weirdos or not, the people that are seeking outside the system and using simple good sense, they're the smart ones.
Yeah.
So that's the scoop.
All right. So if you're using aspartame, you might want to rethink it.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's the point.
Took us 24 minutes, but we got there.
And there's
rethink it. Aspartame is not good.
And it's interesting. A lot of our companies are going back to organic cane sugar. They're not using beet sugar because it's genetically played with. Now, some people are saying xylitol is a problem. I don't know, other than you don't ever want to give it to your dog. It's a very serious problem for animals. We've got it signed right at the shelf. I'm always open to learning.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen xylitol affect blood work, whatever. But now that's the new thing and people are coming. Now, anyway. So Keep it simple, keep it natural, protect yourself. The only way to really be healthy in modern times is to really do your own homework and do things that make sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, don't believe it.
There you go. All
There you
right.
go.
That's episode 117. Your
you
job, people, is to share this with everybody you know. So just share it, social media. Let's get it out there, draw people in every Tuesday at noon and educate people. So they stop putting aspartame in products because they're doing it because it's cheaper. They're doing it because they don't care about our health. If you stop using it, then they won't put it in products. They're gonna be like, well, what are we even doing?
If you stop buying something, they won't produce it.
They won't.
It's just that simple.
That's it. There you go.
And by the way, with aspartame, they claim that it would help people lose weight. And they've done research. In fact, I should have put it in here. I didn't think of it. They've done research showing it actually makes people gain weight.
In the long run. Yeah, that's why people that drink all that Diet Coke are like, how come I'm not losing weight?
Because it messes with the pancreas. You mess with the pancreas, you mess with the whole endocrine system.
Yep. Don't mess with the pancreas.
And we didn't even talk about what it's actually doing in the brain. That'll be another episode.
Oh, I can't wait. Can I be part of that one too?
Yeah.
All right. Say your tagline because I love your tagline.
Well, the tagline these days is don't get drugged, get nourished. Very simple.
All right. Like always, I'm giving you the last word.
I said it, do your homework, follow your heart. If something doesn't make sense to you, don't buy into it. It's just that simple. And protect yourself. Do it for you. Do it for your children. Our children, we've got sadly, our population of children are very compromised. And a lot of, especially grandparents, are asking me all the time, why are these kids so sick? Well, when you learn what's really been going on with the food supply and all these other issues, you don't have to wonder. It's very sad. So protect yourself, protect your loved ones. It'll all be very worth it. So thank you for tuning in, Denny, and I appreciate it. And keep the faith, focus on your blessings.